to crochet this adorable little axolotl doll. It's a baby axolotl, and as you can see, it is so cute, and you're gonna love this. It is no-sew, meaning you get to crochet it all without picking up your yarn needle at all. You can crochet it using medium weight yarn. This is 100% cotton, or you can use super bulky weight yarn that's really plush and velvety for this soft look. These two are crocheted using the exact same pattern. And I wanted to add that these two patterns are free, but then if you want to check out the bigger version of this doll, I have a more detailed version here that's also larger, and it is the Mommy Axolotl. And this sweet little Mommy Axolotl has detailed gills, as you can see, and also arms and legs that are protruding from the body. All right, let's go ahead and get started by looking at the materials for our Baby Axolotl doll. Here are the materials you'll need. Some yarn and a suitable hook for it. I am using medium weight 4 yarn here. This is 100% cotton, and this is a 2.75 millimeter hook that I'm crocheting with. If you use bulkier yarn, such as this super bulky weight polyester yarn, I recommend using a larger hook, a 5 millimeter hook. You'll also need a pair of scissors, some stuffing for your doll, and eyes. For this medium weight yarn doll, I use 6 millimeter eyes. If you're crocheting with super bulky weight yarn, you might use bigger eyes like these 9 millimeter eyes instead. Now let's get started. Let's start off by crocheting the head, body, and tail. It's all done in one piece for this little guy. I'm using light pink for my main color yarn, and this will be the color you use throughout this whole section. Now to start, you can either do the chain method or the magic ring method. I like to use the magic ring method if I'm using cotton or acrylic yarns, and I like to do the chain method if I'm crocheting with this plush yarn because it's harder to tighten up your rings that way. So the chain method is to chain 2 and insert 8 single crochets in the second chain from your hook. Alternatively, for the magic ring, just start with the ring and insert 8 single crochets into the magic ring. I'll demonstrate that now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 single crochets. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten my ring, and we'll move on to round 2. For round 2, you're simply going to increase a round. So you're putting 2 single crochets into each of the stitches. So here, going into that first single crochet, I'm going to put in 2 single crochets, like so. In the next stitch, I'm going to put in 2 single crochets and continue on until you reach the end of the round, and that should give you 16 single crochets total. Now for round number 3, we're going to single crochet and increase all the way around, and that's going to be a total of 8 times. You can use a stitch marker to hold your place, or I just like to use the end of my yarn tail here to know where to stop. All right, so I'm going to do a single crochet in that first stitch. Sorry, my yarn split there. Okay, let's try again. A single crochet, and then in the next stitch I'm going to increase by putting 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Repeating that around, it's another single crochet, and then an increase. A single crochet, then an increase. And we're going to keep going until you reach the end and have 24 stitches total. There's the end of round 3. For rounds 4 to 7, all you're going to do is single crochet around. So you're not going to do any increases or any decreases. You're just going to put one single crochet in each stitch, like so. We are going to meet back at the end of round 7. Here's the piece so far with round 7 complete. Now moving on to round number 8, what we're going to do is single crochet and decrease all the way around. So you'll end up with 16 stitches and it's going to look like this. A single crochet and then a decrease. And you can do a regular decrease if you want, but I'm used to doing the invisible decrease, which is going through the first 2 loops, or the first front loops of the 2 stitches, yarning over to pull through, and finishing off with your single crochet. So this next one is a single crochet, and then I'm going to do the decrease again. And continue around, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, After you finish round 8, that's a good time to attach those plastic safety eyes. When I made the blanket yarn version, my doll was much larger, so I used 9mm eyes. For this one, it is smaller, so I am using smaller 6mm eyes. Now, I place the eyes between rounds 5 and 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right in between here. And I place the eyes about 5 stitches apart. So going in, I'm going to insert my first eye. And by the way, you're welcome to put them anywhere you'd like on your doll, of course. You can put them higher or lower. You can put the eyes closer together or farther apart. And if I count 5 stitches over, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's where I would put my next eye. And if you are like me and have a hard time adding plastic safety eyes to your doll because the backings are so hard to put in, feel free to check out this tool. This is a plastic eye safety tool, and it's really easy to get those backings in like this because you can just push the lever and it'll snap in place. So let me put this one in, and what I'm going to do is attach my tool, let's see, position it over so the hole is where the backing goes, and I'm going to push, and that gets the eye in very securely. So let me do that with the next side. And let me push it in. And let's see how that looks. There we go. All right, those eyes are in. You can continue working on the rest of the body and the tail. Now is a good time to kind of stuff your doll's head a little bit, and we will keep stuffing as we work along. For round number 9, you are going to decrease around, so that's putting a decrease stitch over every 2 stitches in the previous round. Let me go ahead and get started here. So in the next 2 stitches, I'm just picking up those front loops, doing my invisible decrease here. You can do a regular one if you want. And decrease in the next 2. And all the way around. We're going to now start on round 10. Round 10, we're going to begin the body section. For round 10, we're going to work only in the front loops of this previous round. So instead of going through both loops, you're going through only the front. And in the front loops only, you're going to single crochet and increase 4 times around. So I'll do a couple repetitions here. In this first front loop, single crochet. In the next front loop, I'm going to increase, so putting 2 stitches in the same stitch. And in the next one, I'm going to do a single crochet. In the next one, an increase. And keep going around, single crochet, increase, oops, my last loop came undone here. Let's see. Yarn is a little bit splitty. Let me just make sure that that's done right. All right, and last repetition, a single crochet and an increase. There we go. After you finish round 10, you're going to move on to round number 11. Round 11, and continuing on, we're going to work in both loops now, instead of just the front loops. For round 11, you're going to single crochet 2 and increase 4 times. So here's what it'll look like. Single crochet, single crochet, and increase. Let's do that again. Single crochet, single crochet, increase. Repeat around 2 more times, single crochet, increase, and that last repetition, single crochet, increase, all right. And for round 12, we're going to do one more increase round. We're going to single crochet 3 and increase 4 times around. Here's what the first repetition will look like. 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and here's my increase. Second repetition, 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and the increase. All right, and keep going. 1, 2, 3 repetitions and increase. And last one. 1, 2, 3 repetition, 3 single crochets and an increase. Alright, you'll see that your doll's body is starting to form. It's getting whiter. What you'll do next for rounds 13 all the way to 15 is to simply single crochet around. And we're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch. And we'll meet back at the end of round 15. Here's the doll so far with round 15 complete. We're going to move on to round 16. For round 16, you're going to single crochet 3 and decrease 4 times around. So that is 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then we're going to decrease in this next stitch. Again, you can use a regular decrease if you want. I'm doing the invisible decrease. Then it's 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and I'm going to do my decrease. One, 2, 3 single crochets and decrease. And last repetition, 1, 2, 3 single crochets and decrease. And then for round number 17, you're going to decrease around, decrease in every stitch around. Before you do that, you can go ahead and stuff the body a bit. Make sure the head is well stuffed as well. If you need to use a small, like the back of a small hook, that's pretty helpful in getting that stuffing up there. Otherwise, if the hole is big enough, you can just use your fingers. All right, so let me go ahead and do round number 17 here. We're just going to decrease around. You can use the regular decrease if you want. That's 1 decrease. 2 decreases. 3 decreases. 4 decreases, and keep going around till you finish. Here's round number 17 complete, and I have stuffed my body as well. You can go ahead and add those last bits of stuffing in before we kind of close up with the tail here. To start the tail, here we're going to do round 18, and we're going to single crochet around in just front loops only. So go into only that front loop and make a single crochet. And you're going to do that in each stitch around, so you're going to have 8 single crochets in the front loops. Here's stitch number 3 for me. Stitch 4, five, 6, 7, and 8. All right, and we're going to keep working down the tail here. After round number 18, we're going to do another set of decreases. For round 19, we're going to single crochet 2 and decrease. So that's 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then a decrease. And it's getting to be a little too small for the round for me to do my invisible decreases. So I'm just going to do a regular decrease at this point. And one more repetition, single crochet 2, 1 and 2, and decrease. All right, it's getting pretty small. For this next round, round number 20, we're going to just single crochet around 6 times. For round 21, you're going to single crochet and decrease twice. It's going to look like this: a single crochet and then a decrease. Wow, sorry, it is so fiddly here because these stitches are getting so tight and small. All right, there we go. And for round 22, you're just going to single crochet around. So that's 4 single crochets in this round. And if you're struggling like me to actually get your hook in there, it's a lot easier with blanket yarn because it is bulkier and you're able to see those big stitches better. You can go ahead and stop here because I really can't go on any longer. So I'm just going to fasten off with a yarn tail, and I'm pretty happy with the length of my tail here. I don't feel like it needs to get any longer. All right. So that's that for the tail. Right now you should have this cute little head, body, and tail going on, and you'll be ready for the next step. Let's go ahead and make the arms and the legs for your little doll. For the arms and legs, you're going to use puff stitches to make them. You're going to get the main body color. I'm using light pink what you'll do is you're going to count down from the top of the head all the way to round 11 and 12. That's where the arms will go. So I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So the arms will be going over 2 stitches in rounds 11 and 12. I'm going to insert my hook underneath those 2 rounds, and that's where I'm going to put my first arm. You'll want it to be to the side of your doll, not too close to the center, unless you want the arms to be like right up here. But I choose the side, and I'm going to attach the main body color here. By pulling the yarn through. All right, so for the puff stitch to start, you're going to chain, then you're going to yarn over, and insert your hook into that stitch, like so. Yarn over and pull the yarn through, and we're going to repeat that a total of 3 times. So for the second repetition, yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, and pull through. And we're going to do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, and pull through. And that should give you a total of 7 loops on your hook. It's a lot. 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So you're gonna yarn over and pull through all of those loops on your hook, like so. Then you're gonna make a chain to secure the puff. And what you'll do is fasten off with a long tail. And this long tail is going to be pulled through that same stitch. Let me just insert my hook here. All right, go through that same stitch where you started from, and we're going to pull it in. And you're going to pull that starting yarn tail in as well. And there's your little puffy arm. You're going to repeat that on the other side to make the second arm. So you're going to insert your hook underneath a stitch in round 12 to round 11, like last time. And you'll kind of want to eyeball your piece to see where you want the arms to go. I think I want it a little over on this side. Okay, I think this looks good. All right, over here. And let's go ahead and do that puff stitch again. Pull that yarn end through, or that new yarn through. Make a chain to start. And then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch. Yarn over and pull through a loop. And we're going to do that a total of 3 times. So here's number 2. And here's number 3. And we're going to yarn over and go through all of those loops and make a chain to secure your puff. Fasten off with that long tail. And I'm going to pull that long tail into that same stitch I came out of. And pull that first starting yarn tail in as well. And there you have it. You've got the two little arms made. Now the legs are crocheted the same way. They are also puffs. The only difference is that they are done towards the bottom of the body. For the legs, you're going to be crocheting them in the same way. We're going to go ahead and work them as the same kind of puff into rounds 15 and rounds 16 of the body. So here was 11 and 12 where you did the arms. If we go down a little more, there's 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we're going over round 15 and round 16. And I'm going to insert my hook underneath those two stitches like so. And that's where the leg is going to go. Again, you're going to repeat those puff instructions. Same deal with the arms. Start with that chain, yarn over, and you're gonna do this insert hook, yarn over, pull through a loop. We're gonna do that 3 times. Here's number 2, and here's number 3. Yarn over, go through all of those loops. Chain to secure that foot, or that puff, excuse me. Fasten off with a long tail, and we're gonna pull that puff, we're gonna pull that yarn tail into the start, where we made that puff. All right. Losing my words as I'm crocheting. I feel like multitasking is kind of tricky for me. And we're going to want to get that starting yarn tail in as well. And one last puff for that last leg. And make sure you get all of those yarn ends into your doll's body so you can hide them inside. And I'm going to snip them off. There. All right. There is your cute little doll so far. I've got those arms and those legs in. Now it's time to make the gills for your amigurumi. Counting down from the top, we're going into round 4 first, and we're going to start on the right gills. Well, right for this guy if he turns around, so the right hand side. And we're going to do the gills taking up 3 stitches of space between round 4 and round 6 of the head. So it will be 3 little frills here. And I'm using the secondary color yarn, which is a darker pink, just so my little one has a bit of contrast here. And so counting from the top, we're going to go into round 4 on the side of the face. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm inserting my hook into this round here. And I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to pull yarn through, pull the new yarn through. And we're going to chain 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 chains. After that, you're going to slip stitch into that second chain from your hook. Then you're going to slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. And then you're going to insert your hook into round 5. So that's the next stitch down, or the next round down. And I'm going to do a slip stitch into round 5. All right, after that, you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to repeat that first gill. So that's slip stitch into the second chain from your hook. Slip stitch into the next 2 chains. And then you're going into round 6 here. Round 6, which is the next round down, and making a slip stitch. Then you're going to repeat by doing chain 4, and we're going to slip stitch in that second chain from your hook. Slip stitch into the next chain. Slip stitch into the chain after that. And then you're going to fasten off, and you're going to weave the ends by pulling it into that same stitch. So I'm going to just snip off with a long tail here, and I'm going to pull that back into this part in round 6. Like so. And let's get that starting yarn tail pulled in as well. And as you can see, your little gills are in place on the side of the head. You are just going to repeat those instructions for the other side, except instead of starting in round 4, up here, we're going to work from bottom up. So we're going to start from round 6, make a gill, go into round 5, make another one, and go into round 4, make another one. The very last part we need to do here are the little tail frills, and it's going to go around the tail from round 18, which is at the tail's base here, all the way down to the end and back up. We're going to start on the side of the tail's base, round 18, and you're going to insert your hook into that stitch. We'll be using the secondary color yarn, which I'm using dark pink for, and you're going to attach the yarn to that stitch in round 18 of the body. We're going to start off with a chain. And then you're going to single crochet in each stitch around the side. When you get to the tip, we're going to make a chain just so that the tension isn't too tight before we continue on the other side. So here I'm going into that next stitch. And I'm going to make a single crochet. Into the next stitch. Single crochet. Into the next stitch. Single crochet. And into the next stitch. Single crochet. And let me see if I can squeeze one over here. Now at the tip, I'm just going to make a chain, and that's going to make it easier for me to go down the other side. Oops, sorry, my stitches here at the end of the tail are really tight, so I'm trying to figure out how to go in here. Oops. All right, that'll work. I'll just go into this loop and go into this next one and keep going down. When you get to that very last stitch, what you can do is just pull through for your single crochet, and then we're going to fasten off with a bit of a tail. And you're going to take that tail and pull it through that last stitch. So I'm going to just get it pulled in here. Nice and tight. And I'm also going to pull in my starting yarn tail, because we don't want all these yarn tails just hanging around here. Alright, and let me snip off these ends so they can get well hidden inside our doll. Hope you had a lot of fun crocheting this little baby axolotl doll with me. As you can see, you can make it with all kinds of fibers. This is the exact same pattern but worked with super bulky polyester yarn versus medium weight cotton yarn. And if you want to check out another pattern that I have, here's a more detailed axolotl doll. This is the mommy doll. If you want to check them all out, look at the pattern links in the description box for more information. Happy crocheting, friends, and please subscribe to my channel for more free tutorials.